Thank you for your interest in working with us. We have spent a lot of time and effort into building our systems and vetting our borrowers to make sure that we are doing everything that we possibly can to minimize the risk associated with any type of investment and actually feel comfortable enough that we are funding these deals ourselves alongside you. When I began my lending career, my biggest holdup was not knowing who I could trust. I didn't know who the presenters were. I didn't know what their due diligence looked like. I didn't know what their process was. And so when I saw the deals, it was very difficult for me to go through it and not only verify that the numbers are correct, that the deal works, but also verify that whoever's doing the deal actually knows what they're doing. And so that has turned into us building our own process. We've turned away a lot of deals and have come up with strict criteria for those that we work with. So even though we have a set of, at the moment, 4 borrowers that are doing volume, we are always evaluating more, but we are still turning down deals because they don't meet our criteria. Again, we treat other people's money the same way that we treat our own money and want to make sure that we are providing highest level of service that we possibly can to both the lender, you, and the borrower. So on the borrower side, what we're doing to evaluate the borrower is they have to be doing volume, meaning they are acquiring at least on average 2 houses, 2 projects per week. And if they're not, then they're automatically disqualified. They need to have a good track record, meaning that they're doing flips, but they're also making money on their flips. And we do that by evaluating old HUDs in previous projects, purchase and sell, as well as statement of work, just to make sure that they are not underwater, that they're actually making money. These borrowers that we work with need the money to scale, not to get started. So they are doing projects, they are doing flips, they have active income, they are not completely broke. They are using other people's money to scale, which is 100% normal in this business, in almost any business. We pull references, but we don't just take their references. We also go in and dig into their Facebooks and social media and start privately messaging people that have responded to their posts or have shown some type of business relationship, because anybody who provides references is always going to give you the best, but we want to see what happens when a project doesn't necessarily go the way that it's supposed to, how the lenders are treated, the type of communication and all that. And if there are any red flags, automatic disqualification. We do live deal underwriting. So we want to make sure that the deals that they have and are presenting to their current set of lenders actually make sense. So we'll underwrite a handful of deals first just to see how they look and to make sure that they're reasonable. If there are any red flags, we automatically disqualify the borrower. We also review borrower packages, making sure that everything that we request comes through in an efficient and timely manner, because if they are not able to give us the information that we need in an organized way, then we know that there's some issues or they're still not ready to take on other people's money. So we automatically drop them. Once the borrower passes, the deals go live. We start underwriting them, and anything that meets our criteria will get blasted to our lenders. So there's already been a ton of filtering out up to this point. So the deals that we go through, that we send out, are deals that we would fund with our own money. See, lenders' responsibility. So in this business, speed is key. And I know it's kind of scary, especially for those who are newer to lending. So that's why what we want to do is we want to educate you and tell you about our process, how we do things, answer any questions or concerns before a deal is committed to, because we as lenders have a responsibility to our borrowers as well. So we gather all their information to present to you before deals come through about a borrower. So that way it's very easy for you to understand that this borrower is someone that we vetted, that you feel confident enough in funding and working with, so that it's easier for you to make a quick decision. And the reason why we need to make quick decisions are, one, the borrowers are on a strict timeline, right? They have a specific closing date and are looking for funding. On top of that, we are not the only lending group that these borrowers are working with. They're working with many other groups as well, and deals get picked up pretty quickly, especially if they're good ones. So the good ones that come through move fast. So that is why we want to give you all the information up front that we possibly can, so that once a good deal comes through, you can move quickly. Again, like, the biggest thing is, do not fund a deal if you're not comfortable. Get all of the information that you need from us up front. We're happy to answer as many questions as you have, just to make sure that you know our process, you know everything you need to know about the borrower so that we can essentially get moving. One of the biggest things is if you commit to funding a deal, please fund the deal. Once we commit to funding a deal, the borrower ceases all, no longer searches for money. Meaning, let's say they're looking for a $50,000 lend, they blast that deal out to 100 lending partners. We come in and we say, we're going to fund that $50,000. They stop, right? They're not looking for backups. They say, okay, now we can move on to the next step, which is getting the contractors and their team in place to get the project moved. On our end, what it looks like is we need to provide as much information as possible from our lending entity, and paperwork needs to get started. So that means there's a whole process that's involved, and it's not something that can be done in 1 or 2 days. So that's why if we are going to commit to funding a deal, please make sure that you are going to fund the deal. We are providing a service to our borrower as well. It's not only the other way around. So if we verbally commit, we expect to fund that deal. That borrower can rely on us, and we want to make sure that we keep a good reputation with our borrower as well. Otherwise, we lose that relationship. Before committing to a deal, you want to make sure that the money is in its final resting place before it's ready to be deployed. Meaning, if you have $50,000, 5 different accounts, 10,000 in each, and your goal is to move it all into one deal, ideally what you want to do is you want to put that into one account, and then as soon as the money is in there and verified posted, then that money is ready to go. So we've had instances where we've committed to a deal, but the money had to get moved around. So the borrower's waiting on us to get the money to get to where it needed to go before it could actually go to title. And that causes a lot of stress both on us and on our borrower. So we want to make sure that if you are planning to deploy a certain amount of money, make sure that it is in a spot where it is ready to go. Review the paperwork. So we are all human. Sometimes we make mistakes. We do our best not to. We have checks in place to make sure that we have the correct numbers. So once we've committed to a deal and money has been sent to title, one thing that we can do is, because we're often on strict timelines and banks aren't always updated or accounts aren't always updated as quickly as we want them to. So as soon as money is wired to title, we want to make sure that we take a screenshot of the wire confirmation so that we can send it to our borrower. So it is just one less thing that our borrower has to worry. The correct entity information, but we want to make sure that you are reviewing the paperwork. If you receive a notice to sign paperwork, please review the paperwork as soon as you can and sign the paperwork. The sooner that we can get everything done and in place, the easier it is for our borrower and the less stress that they have to go to. Again, we are service providers on both ends. We provide a service to you as a lender, but we also provide a service to our borrower. Unfortunately, we cannot make any guarantees that any of these deals are 100% safe. There's always going to be a risk in any opportunity, whether you lend on these deals or you put your money in the stock market or you put it in a CD. There's always going to be a risk. However, we are doing everything that we possibly can to make sure that we minimize that risk, because we are in the business to make money, not lose money. The next thing is take action. Scared money does not make money. Yes, everything is scary the first time that you do it, the second time, the third time. There are times when I'm doing these transactions and I'm still scared because I don't know what could happen. But in order to make money, we have to take action. You can sit on the money, you can have it lose value from inflation and all that. It's fine. But if you want to make money, you have to take action. This is just step one, phase one in my plan for you as a lending partner. What I really want to do is I want to make you a lot of money through lending and then take that money and put it into owning assets. That way, you're not just building extra cash now, you are building generational wealth for yourself and your family and generations to come. That is really the goal. So we are really excited to go on this journey with you. There's been a lot of work, like I said, up front in getting this systems and process refined to a place where we finally feel comfortable presenting it and expanding it to people outside of just our small organization. So I'm really excited to just make some money with everyone. Thank you.